Mm. All right.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today with AIBI Higher Education. Today with me as the host, Margareta, and we have from AIBI, Aldrin, and also Intan. Intan based in Indonesia. So if you have any Indonesian student who wants to do like online consultation or your agency wants to do like info session, online or offline, depend on where Intan is during your session. And we also have Aldrin, based in Australia. Now we also have Mas Farid here joining.
Halo,
So,
halo, Isintan, halo Aldrin, hai.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Faryad.
okay. And as usual, to remind you all that Yes Education currently still have the point counting for fam trip to New Zealand for next year. And AIPI, since they offer the degree program for bachelor and master, if you have any student go there, you can get the point for the fam trip. So if you have any question, any inquiry later during the presentation, just submit your question in the Q&A box. And we record this session, so if you need to revisit the information or some of your colleagues that cannot join, can just revisit the information in our YouTube channel as we usually upload it there. Okay, without further ado, Audrey and Intan, the floor is yours.
Hey, thank you, Reta, for opening the session. So everyone, I would like to introduce my colleague here, Aldrin. So he's based in our Sydney campus, and he will basically doing an opening, an introduction of our campus and of AIBI itself, and then I will continue on regarding the programs. So don't you worry, I will mix with Indonesian so to make everyone more comfortable later. Uh, okay, I will share the screen. Okay, Aldrin, are you ready?
Great. Yes.
Okay, okay, you can start now.
All right. Yes. Hello, everyone. Again, I'm Aldrin. I'm the student recruitment manager here. One of the student recruitment managers here at AIBI Higher Education. And first and foremost, we wanted to thank you for uh, having this webinar exclusively for AIBI. Australian Institute of Business Intelligence is the big name of AIBI. The whole name is actually quite long, but AIBI HE would be fine. Um, I was actually talking with Greta earlier that the just a month ago we were having a meeting with Joni here at the Sydney office, and just wanted to say that he's really positive. The aura that he has when he's talking with us, really nice guy. And we're really looking forward to having a personal meeting with you guys as well, aside from Joni, and hopefully in Indonesia, Philippines as well, and other Southeast Asian countries that you're actually covering. We'll be happy to partner with whatever uh, education fairs, events that you will be having. We're just going to be here to support you all out. So just wanted to welcome you as well with AIBI. Uh, and the next slide would be. Mhm. So we got our mission and vision, pretty much focused on the business intelligence side. What I noticed about AIBI is that we do not actually follow the trend, just like the early childhood education, or which is actually quite popular now. But we focus more on the future and the career of the students, having a different niche, focusing on digital technology, AI, and business intelligence. Yes. And for the next one. Mhm. We've got our recruitment team as well, just to make sure that we could also cover all these. It's actually us in the Sydney team. We got our current G, the head of recruitment, our LATAM, who's actually focusing the LATAM market, which is Catherine. I'm focusing in the Southeast Asian market right now. But we do have our student recruitment manager based in Sydney, Brisbane, and Perth. While on the other hand, we've got our offshore team focusing in Indonesia. It's actually Intan. And in the Philippines, it's actually Gian, Paulo, plus our two student recruitment manager based in Nepal. So just in case you have those plans, having your education fairs, marketing materials are ready, and the rest of our team would be ready to provide the all-out support as well. Mhm. And just to give you some heads up, we do have our campuses in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Perth. So we are actually located in the prime locations, just like our Sydney campus is just 200 meters away from the central station, just 3 minutes walk from the central station as well. Pretty convenient, accessible as well. And most cases, what we also notice with the Southeast Asian students, especially the Indonesians, they actually focus living or residing near the city area, so which is actually quite a good thing as well. Melbourne is also located in the prime location in the business city CBD area, as well as Brisbane and Perth. Mhm. But just to give you some quick heads up as well, right now what we are noticing, we do have this KPI for the Perth campus for the month of September. That's actually the September intake, our term 3. And just to give you some insight, we've already reached our 80% of the KPI that we wanted to reach for the September intake. It looks like a lot of agencies right now, or students as well, are also putting their students to Perth regional area. I guess it's also because of the positive side of living in the regional area. TR plus 1 year of TR, and probably a pathway that they would wanted to seek in the regional area. So letting you know that, yeah, we are actually open to helping you out, and definitely your students, if they wanted to choose regional areas, you might want to consider Perth and Brisbane. Now, based on our data, we are now second to the campuses or the education providers having numbers of students in Perth. Yes. I don't want to tell the names of these education providers, but I'm pretty sure you're familiar. So, yeah, just like for example, Kaplan. I'm pretty sure you're partners of Kaplan. So, they've been dominating Perth over the past years, and because there aren't much education providers, I think Stanley College is actually there. Crown Institute, they just opened as well. A couple of programs. Uh, I heard other higher education providers are actually trying to open their campus in Perth as well. But so far, based on our data, we're actually now second to Kaplan in terms of like the numbers of students. So it's just actually a good thing. I mean, some good news as well. Especially Kaplan has been there for over several years already. So that's actually on a good note. Yes. All right. And the next one. Mhm. All right, maybe we could actually play just a glimpse of our Sydney campus. Mhm. So we are in the Manning building. We are occupying level 2, level 3, level 1 as well, and also level 5. Mhm. And just last week, Tuesday, we were able to announce additional programs that we're going to be having for the master's program. These are actually specialization courses. And I believe Intan would be happy to share more information about this. And just a quick one, we are also planning additional bachelor's program as well by the first term of 2027 as well. Mhm. So pretty cozy vibe when it comes to our Sydney campus. We try to make sure that everyone we in the campus, since we do have 55 nationalities across our Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Perth campuses, we wanted to make sure that everyone is actually uh, being valued in terms of like the nationalities they're coming from, the backgrounds. It's actually us providing that support as well. Mhm. And I believe Intan would be sharing more about our undergraduate courses as well as the postgraduate. Mhm.
Great. Thank you so much, Aldrin, for the introduction. Okay, everyone, I will be continuing with this session. So as you have heard before from Reta from US Education, we are a higher education provider, so we focus on both undergraduate and postgraduate courses, or a bachelor's degree and master's degree. And as our name suggests, so Australian Institute of Business Intelligence, we pretty much focus on two fields, which is business and IT, and that is also well reflected on our courses and programs. So, okay, the first one, which is, of course, one of our most high demand programs, and especially for Indonesia as well. Like a Bachelor of Business is very popular all around, but of course, there would be the question of what would be the difference of enrolling to AIBI for Bachelor of Business, right? So one of the key differences that we have in AIBI is that we provide several specializations under the Bachelor of Business. So instead of just studying the generic program of Bachelor of Business that you might be able to encounter someplace else, with these specializations, it helps students to figure out earlier on during their studies on what kind of industry they want to tap into for work after they graduate. So the specializations that we currently offer includes hospitality management, artificial intelligence management, and enterprise management systems. And we do have a detailed background of what kind of units or classes that they'll be taking on. So we can provide that for you later for your information. And basically, these specializations also not only expands their choices in the future, but also in terms of aligning with their experience. So, for example, if you have a student who has graduated from, let's say SMK Pariwisata or SMK Perhotelan, so they have a high school degree that specializes in a vocation of hospitality, then a Bachelor of Business in Hospitality Management is exactly what they might be looking for or what might be beneficial for their career onwards. So, and we are also looking to expand the specializations as well. I think within the next few weeks, we will be offering specialization in project management as well, which essentially expands the choices for the students. And then the second one is Bachelor of Cybersecurity. I get asked a few times as well, like, what cybersecurity is, or why is it not Bachelor of IT? So essentially, cybersecurity is part of the IT industry. And why AIBI chooses to provide a Bachelor of Cybersecurity instead of a Bachelor of IT or Computer Science is, of course, in order to tap into the demand in the job market itself for cybersecurity professionals. So currently it is high demand both in Australia and also globally. Maybe us Indonesians can relate, like, we put our data somewhere, we register into something, and then suddenly there's like 10 spam calls in the next few days. But that is one of the signs that like cybersecurity is really needed in terms of like data security, etc. So essentially, by enrolling to a Bachelor of Cybersecurity in AIBI, it will equip students not only with the basic skills that they can get under an IT program, but they will also get specific courses to develop their skills in cybersecurity. So a few of the career outcomes would be cybersecurity analyst, security consultant, or digital forensics analyst, which might be still quite foreign for the Indonesian market. That's because most of Indonesian universities don't even have this program yet. And students in Indonesia are still unfamiliar with it, but that's the more reason why they should be studying cybersecurity in Australia. That's because it's not yet developed in Indonesia, and it will be this sort of job or career that is in demand uh, in the next few years. Okay. So for our undergraduate course or bachelor program, the structure is 3 years of study from full time, and the study program generally requires around 1 to 2 days of um, direct attendance in our campus. So that's also one of the benefits of AIBI. So because we do a trimester system, we basically split the one academic year into 3 trimesters instead of 2 semesters that Indonesians are more aware of, I guess. And by splitting it into 3, each trimesters would consist of only 2 or 3 units or classes, which means that their burden in studying, their burden in like assignments is lowered compared to like a common semester system. And also, in regards to their attendance, it also lowers the burden there as well. So they would only need to come into campus around 1.5 day within a week. And the rest of their time, they can, do self-study, they can travel, they can do part-time work, etc. So that's one of the main key points of AIBI, like the flexibility of the time that the student can have during their study here. And also, additionally, with the assessments and scoring, we no longer conduct exams as part of our assessment. We mainly focus on skill-based assessments such as conducting case studies, participation during class, quizzes, research projects, reports, presentations, etc. So this also helps lessen the burden for the students. And of course, for Indonesians, if you do a bachelor's, it's very typical for you to have like a graduate thesis. We don't have that here in AIBI. Instead, we have what we call a capstone project, which essentially would help student in building on their portfolio and their CV for them to seek work afterwards. Sorry. Okay, so this is our current fee structure for the undergraduate program. So originally we offer the undergraduate program with a full tuition fee of 65,000 Australian dollars for 3 full study years. But we are currently offering a promotion of 10 to 30% for offshore students, including for Indonesia. So the reduced tuition fee in total would be 49,940 Australian dollars. Essentially, what we did was we give a 10% promotion during their first year and then increase it to 30% on their second and third year. And I've been asked with some agents, like, why not just, give a big promotion throughout their academic years? It is crucial for their visa application to have a bigger tuition on their first year. so that it shows a stronger visa application. Um, Right. And then regarding the COE deposit, so essentially student needs to deposit the first trimester of their study, which would equate to 3 units. So that would total to 7,492 Australian dollars, plus an enrollment fee. So we do not charge the enrollment fee upfront. So you can submit your applications freely, and then once your student would commit to produce the COE, then the enrollment fee would be charged then. So yeah. Great. So next we have the postgraduate courses, which is also part of our strengths here in AIBI, as we cater towards working professionals as well. So the one that's of course high in demand is our MBA program. So this is a Master of Business Administration in digital transformation. So this is one of the highlights or the key differences between other MBA programs is we focus on digital transformation, meaning that a lot of the units are actually catered towards the more current trend of, digital economy, digital marketing, and data analysis. And we are also just started. Okay. Hi, Aldrin. You want to add something?
Yes, just wanted to give you a very quick one regarding about Masters of Administration, Business Administration, Digital Transformation. What would be the difference of like the normal MBA to an MBA Digital Transformation? That's actually the good question that we have here. Well, according to our professors who are also teaching in Macquarie University, the UTS, who are also here with us, and other universities. The thing is, like, for the normal MBA, those are actually from 20 years ago, very traditional academic subjects. But when it comes to the MBA specializing in digital transformation, according to our professors, each subject would actually have a touch of digital technology. Even a core subject of cybersecurity fundamentals, data analytics, and AI, it's also going to be there. Got agile project management, and this is actually quite different from the normal MBA. So, very few education providers are also having this kind of program here in Australia. I believe you could also see that in some universities, but very few would be in the private higher education sectors. So, which I think is quite a very interesting one. We're getting good numbers of students with this kind of master's program. So this is actually the benchmark of the MBA programs that we have. And right after that, we do have our specialization or additional specialization courses. We just announced this last Tuesday, and we're very excited to help you out with this ones since we do have the normal two master's program that we have with AIBI, and now we're going to be adding up four additional specializations, which are actually the AI management, business analytics, fintech management, and project management. So for the AI, we are actually the first in the private higher education sector to open AI management master's program. So very common in universities. I think Flinders University, they do have the Masters of AI Management, but in our case, we're actually the first. We were actually the first one to open the Bachelor of Business in AI Management, which means in the bachelor course earlier. I think the second one is some higher education as well, but we were actually the first in the private higher. So yeah, I think Inta would be sharing more.
Okay, thank you so much, Aldrin. So as he highlighted previously, that the specializations we have just started offering them this starting on our next intake. And also like this highlights more towards our focus in business intelligence. So that's why our name is, Australian Institute of Business Intelligence, because we focus on not only business and IT, but also digital transformation and providing these specializations that might not be found in other providers. And with the help of our professors who, as Aldrin mentioned, is also, teaching in other campuses. This really is the highlight of our institution. So basically the new specializations here, so some of it aligns with our existing specializations within the bachelor's program, but some are also new, which is based on also the current trend in the job market itself. So we have AI management, which is focused on the integration of AI into modern business strategy. We also have business analytics. We also have fintech. So for students who are keen on entering this industry, this is a very good program. And also the last one would be project management. And again, same with the bachelor's program, this also should expand the options that the student have, not only for their future, but also aligning with their academic history. So let's say they have a bachelor's in IT, they want to shift into an MBA, like an MBA in digital transformation with a specialization in, let's say, AI management might be uh, the best one to align and with their future career endeavors. So this specialization should help you as agents to align with their academic history and also their future plans. Okay, so on top of the MBA, or as I would say, within the MBA program, we also offer a of graduate certificate and graduate diploma of business administration, which for you guys who are not familiar yet with these qualifications, it's basically higher than a bachelor but lower than a master's. This would typically the program would typically last for 8 months or 12 months, depending on which qualification you take. And this can be a good segue for, let's say, students who have not yet met the qualification for a master's program. So let's say for our MBA, the IELTS qualification would be a 6.0 with a few bands, like speaking and writing needs to be a 6.0, with the rest of it being 5.5. So this program can be a good segue for them. Let's say one of their bands is under the qualification. They can first enter to this program and then top up into a master's program. And the cost is pretty much the same anyways, in that regards. So yeah, this could be a great option for that. Then the next one after our MBA is, of course, a Master of IT in Cybersecurity. So similarly with the bachelor's program, we decided to focus on cybersecurity uh, to be more of a specialized program that adheres with the industry demand for human resources in this area. So career outcomes is also similar with the bachelor's program, cybersecurity analyst, security architect, etc. And and same as the business program, we also provide a graduate certificate and graduate diploma of IT in case that like your students wants a shorter program instead of a master's, or as I mentioned before, if their requirements is not yet fulfilled for a master's of IT, which actually has a higher um, IELTS qualification, but we'll talk about that later in the future slide. Okay, so the structure for the master courses is essentially 2 years of study full time. Similar with the bachelor's, we students typically come into class for 1.5 days per week. But interestingly enough, especially for the MBA programs, we do have students who are also, working full time uh, in offices in Australia whilst pursuing this degree. Hence, we enable them to also develop their career during their study by allowing the second half of their attendance to be conducted. We call it asynchronous learning. So basically, for MBA, you only need to come to campus once per week. So one day of the week. And then the second day, you can do the study or learning in your own time when you're available. So this would be a very good option if your student is also looking to work during their studies here. And similarly, our assessment for the master's program also does not include exams or a thesis, although upon graduation, we do still have a capstone project, similarly to the bachelor's program. Okay, so for the pricing for postgraduate or master's program, initially our full price offering is 54,000 Australian dollars, but we are currently offering 40% promotion. So the total tuition fee for 2 years in our master's program would be 32,400 Australian dollars, which is quite honestly a very big promotion. And like for i- actually for an MBA, it's one of the most affordable ones. So this is the right time, I would say, to enroll for a master's in AIBI. This is the detailed breakdown over here. So the COE deposit for the students would be equivalent to their first trimester, which is 3 units, which is around 6,000 Australian dollars, plus the enrollment fee of 250 Australian dollars. Great. Now, back to AIBI itself, like why should you as agents or why should the students go to AIBI? We already mentioned a few like key points of AIBI, the benefits of studying in AIBI. We have prime locations in 4 different cities. We offer industry-led niche qualifications with affordable tuition fees. And we also provide comprehensive student support with engaging student activities, which will be explained further in the next slide, with modern facilities to facilitate the students' study during their academics in AIBI. Now, this is also one of the benefits or the highlights of AIBI is that we have a very vibrant student community. So in total, in all of our campuses, we have over 60 different nationalities, including regions like America Latin, Europe, Southeast Asia, and of course, including Indonesia as well. And as you can see over here, we have a lot of student activities. Um, uh, our orientation week, of course, is the start of every trimester. We do that. And then we also conduct career boot camps every other week in addition to their classes so that in order to facilitate students in, expanding their uh, career planning in the future. We also do student barbecue gathering, and I believe a few weeks ago we just did like Christmas party.
It's Christmas
Yes,
in
Audrey?
July. Yes,
Yeah, Christmas in July, right?
we
Mhm.
book a sidebar. It's actually a bar where I think 200 of our students actually came just to relax, have some fun time with their friends and classmates. Yep.
Uh,
We try to as much as possible do like a monthly activities with our students. I think just a month ago, aside from the July, we also had the morning coffee walk with our students. We try to encourage them to be very engaging with the rest of other students as well. So it's and everything is actually covered by our AIBI team. Yep.
Great. Thank you, Aldrin. So, I think this is important to note, just so that for Indonesian students, they really like to like socialize, have friends, make sure that they have, a close-knit group of people that they can meet regularly. So sometimes, I found that a few like Indonesian students can be hesitant to go for like smaller private education providers instead of like a big universities, because they imagine, you know, busy busy student life with full of activities, etc. I would say that with these activities that we have in AIBI, it can still be their dream of that is still being realized through our activities here. Yes, Aldrin?
Yeah, I also wanted to highlight about the Dean's Award, just in case to add up with the spice that just a cherry on top. I'm pretty sure you're familiar. Most higher education providers they also provide some academic awards aside from the uh, scholarship promotions that we're actually providing to our students. Uh, Dean's Award is actually given to students if they already, say for example, they already enrolled to us for about a semester in the middle of the year, AIBI would actually open this. The student could actually apply manually. And once they get approved, they get to have additional 10%. And that's actually on top of the 40. So currently, right now, because if it's the bachelor's for an onshore price, we're actually giving at least about 40. And if they have additional 10% on top of that, it's going to be 50. Yes. And I think 4 weeks ago, we were able to provide one of our students who's actually taking a Bachelor of Cybersecurity, and she was able to get the Dean's Award, which is actually additional 10%. So something that we also wanted to encourage our students to keep attending classes. And just like what Intern was actually saying, we are pretty much flexible when it comes to the schedules that we have, since it's actually 1.5 days a week. Uh, each subject would be just 3 hours. The first day is actually 6 hours, at least about 9 to 4 p.m. The point five is just another 3 hours. So something that it's going to be easy. They don't really need to have a high score, not really an HD, even a distinction. They could actually submit their application for the Dean's Award. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Aldrin. Yeah, so that's a sneak peek to our vibrant student community in AIBI. And before I play this video, so this video is basically just showing several student testimonies during their studies in AIBI, but I would also like to mention that um, a lot of our students in AIBI, like they find their experience during their study here very satisfying for them. They had great fun, but also great learning experience. And I think a lot of them actually, continues on to their masters in AIBI.
Hmm.
Am I correct,
Yes.
Aldrin? Yeah.
Yes, just a while ago, I was talking with one of the students, sending message to me, and they're actually mentioning that they wanted to proceed to the master's program after finishing the bachelor's. It means like it's a very genuine feedback coming from the students that instead of like their agents, I'm pretty sure they have a lot of partners as well. They would actually mention like other school providers, but yeah, the student decided to, okay, maybe I could still go for an AIBI experience again. So the good news is like if they're actually going for the same edu provider, which is actually AIBI, we could actually give them uh, more perks, additional scholarship, and also we waive the application fee. And I'm pretty sure you have your students with us. Then once they actually finish their courses, definitely uh, we would love to help them out and assist them getting more information about the postgraduate programs that we have. Mhm.
Okay, and to add on to that as well, so I'm currently handling one students who are enrolling in the Bachelor of Business program. But funnily enough, I found out that his older sister is was actually in AIBI, still in AIBI. So she
Mhm.
enrolled like 2 years before, and because she had a great time, she actually later on her boyfriend actually also started studying in AIBI, and now her younger brother started studying in AIBI. So
Wow.
yeah, we have a whole family
Mhm.
in AIBI here. So yeah.
So that's a good testimony.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so before we move on to like the what kind of requirements is needed for the application, how you can apply to AIBI, we're gonna play a short video of our student testimony.
So I'm not sure if I could hear the
I think the
testimony.
sound is
I think, yep,
not coming out.
yes.
Is it on now?
I don't think we could actually hear it in
Yep.
time.
Mhm. Okay,
Not a
apologies.
problem. Yes, not a
Yeah,
problem.
that's okay. So maybe
But
we
by the
can
way,
just start
I was
with.
actually just to add up as well. I was actually having a meeting with our admissions manager just last week. Our main goal this year is to fast track application. If we could actually provide an offer letter to you guys much faster than the rest of your other education partners, it means like we could also be prioritized, and that's one thing that we could actually affirm. We've got our staff located in the Philippines, two from Nepal, two from India, our admissions manager here in Sydney. We're actually working in all time zones. Means that we could actually reply to your concerns, to your questions, definitely much easier. And at the same time, we've got, I think last Monday, we were able to provide an offer letter within 2 hours from offshore. And if we could actually provide that faster, pretty sure it's going to be a lot easier for us. We've also received our allocation for this year for 2027, and we've actually reached uh, more than 80% of the allocation that we are uh, expecting. And at the same time, we're going to be in the fast lane for the first term
Intake,
of the
yep.
2027. So that's one thing. That's a good news that we could really share with you. If ever you have your students coming from offshore, definitely they're going to be prioritized by the DHA.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so the fast lane basically means that we get priority visa processing, which means uh,
Mhm.
students coming to AIBI and applying for their student visa would have the faster processing time, so of up to
Yes.
4 weeks, I believe, instead
Mhm.
of more than 4 weeks. So yeah,
100%. Yep.
that's something to look forward for the next intake. Great. Apologies for the sound there, but let us continue. So the key dates, so we actually still have one intake for this year, but for offshore, we are now focusing for the 2027 intake. So the earliest one would be in late February, which the classes start in early March. Then we also have the second trimester, which starts in May, and the third trimester, which starts in September. So, as I mentioned before, with the trimester system, it doesn't only help lessen the study burden for the students for each trimester, but it also allows us to have, 3 different intakes per year. So it gives you flexibility in terms of application, or let's say the student needs to defer because of special circumstances, we can definitely cater to that. And okay, so the application for AIBI is quite simple, and even simpler is because we are partnering with Yes Education. So for all of you agents who are under Yes Education, you can simply submit your students' applications through Yes Education. And of course, with the application, you need to ensure that you submit the required documents because delays might occur depending on the completion of those documents. Basically, what we look for to assess the application, first of all, is a complete student application form. Second would be academic transcript and certificates. So depending on the program that they are applying for in AIBI, so for bachelor's, it would be ijazah SMA or high school certificate, or it can be equivalent to that. So SMA, SMK, or madrasah. And the scoring also, it needs only to be an overall average of 50%. So it's not really that high, and it in order to cater to more students, I would say. And then for masters, of course, we need a bachelor's degree, at least from recognized universities and institutions. And of course, if you also cater to onshore students, so students who are already in Australia, we also actually do credit transfer. So let's say your student had have had previous qualification in diploma, or yeah, diploma,
Advanced
advanced
diploma.
diploma, and
Yep. Mhm.
they want to credit transfer into a bachelor's program. That is definitely something that we can do, but it will be assessed based on their application. Okay, afterwards, passport copy is also necessary, and for English proficiency, um, so I've had cases where, students has just gotten out of high school, they haven't had the time to take their IELTS yet. It is okay for you to not submit it at first. We can still consider the application, but it must be completed afterwards. So let's say, they're having their tests 1 or 2 weeks away, and in order to, give them some assurance of having a conditional letter of offer in their hand, you can submit without the English proficiency at first, so it became LOA conditional with the result in mind. And then for the IELTS itself, for bachelor's program, we need an IELTS 6.0 with no band less than 5.5 or equivalent. So we also accept TOEFL, PTE. I think PTE is quite popular nowadays for, application to higher education. So whichever one is more, convenient for your student. And we also have a complete guide of, um, the equivalent scorings for each testing for your reference. And also, you can also attach CV, and this is very crucial, of course. One, if they're doing a master's, or two, if they do either courses but has like a study gap. So it is crucial for you to submit either a CV or a document that provides an explanation for the study gap. Right. And then I think it's also important to note with the age limitation. So for bachelor's courses, we encourage students to be at least 18 years of age. So the age would be so they need to be 18 uh, when the courses commence, right? And for master's courses, the maximum age limit is 32 years old. Great. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in and listening to this webinar session. And if you have any questions, feel free to raise them. Doesn't have to be in English, of course, Indonesian, Japanese.
Mhm. And just wanted to add up because it's actually yes education. We wanted to make sure that we are prioritizing all your applications, and that's something that we like. All you're always on top of our priority. So just whatever applications, concerns, questions that you're actually sending us, definitely we'll be providing you with the answers, and we would be providing you with quick update on this one. So something that we can also guarantee as we try to value our partnership as well. Like Joni, he's just like your office here in Sydney is just actually a block away from us. So we're always happy to provide this kind of service as well. The difference is like we wanted to make sure the fastest service will be provided. That's one thing that we could also guarantee as well.
Okay, thank you, Aldrin and Intan, for the explanation about AIBI. So for our attendee, if you have any question, any inquiries, or currently if you have any student cases that you want to bring up, just type them in the Q&A
Mhm,
box. You can type them in Indonesia or in English, up to you.
mhm,
And then we will address them. Or if you think that it's too personal about your student because it's very specific, you
mhm,
can also contact Yes Education team after this to arrange one-on-one session with Intan,
mhm,
and then we can address the concern of your student there.
mhm.
And then
Okay.
Yep.
regarding the application, you mentioned that the student need to be 18 by the commencement date. So the student uh, can apply if they're still under 18 but need to be 18 by the commencement date. Is it all right? Is it true?
Hi, Fred, can you repeat the question? I
Suaranya
think,
kecil kah?
yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think it's about the application for under 18. So
Under
it
18.
was stated that the
Mhm,
student needs to be 18 during the enrollment date, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Can they
mhm.
submit the application when they are still under 18?
Yeah, definitely. So,
Yep.
the age limitation, so minimum 18 years old by the time the course commence.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's
Mhm,
also the benefit of the multiple intakes that we have.
Hmm.
So, there's some students who are, oh, my birthday is in November or or like later in the year. So,
mhm,
well, like with other providers that might
mhm,
mean, they need to delay for like
mhm,
1 year. But with us, because we have 3 intakes per year, we can like easily just move them to the next intake that we have.
mhm.
And then about that under 18 student, what if they turn 18 in the week where they enroll? Is it still okay to have like late enrollment a few days, or they need to join the next intake? For example, your September intake start in 6 September, and then the student turn 18 in 10 of September. Is it still okay, or they still need to move to the next intake?
Yeah.
All right. I think I would actually have to go for that one. All right. So it's a little bit technical, which is actually quite interesting as well. For some cases, because we also opted to focus on the student visa application of the students,
Mhm.
since they're actually under 18. It means like they would actually need some more documents. Guardians actually gonna be with them in this kind of lodgement. So the safest way is actually them being at the age of 18. Uh, when it comes to student application, I think we won't actually have a problem with that, since like we think that once they actually start, they're gonna be turning 18. If they would actually have, say for example, before the census date starts, they're gonna be a little bit late. It's still gonna be fine. Although student application would be a little different from the student visa lodgement. So for student application, definitely we could easily say yes to that. For student visa application, pretty sure the expert is actually you, and we leave it at that. But the support is actually there, so we could actually provide you offer letter. We could easily provide that COE as well. But then again, if you wanted to defer the intake, we are happy to assist you with this one. Pretty much like within an hour or two, we could provide that revised offer letter and give you another intake as well. Mhm. I have this question. How about, what if the student is actually 38 years old? All right. All right. So I got this kind of case where the agent is actually also asking if my student is actually 38 years old, can they still go for an application? Because right now it's actually a lot of red flags happening, a lot of announcement coming from DHA. So according to our admissions manager, the pro tip that he's actually mentioning is that we could actually uh, we could actually accept the application for the postgraduate program, so the master's program. So if they're 38, 30, at least he mentioned at least below 40, we could actually accept the application. We could assess the application and accept the application. And if they actually provide more documents, it's going to be much easier for us to proceed with the COE as well. So, but for the bachelor's program, I think the ideal we are looking forward to receive is actually at least about 26 and below. Yep.
Mhm.
27, probably case by case, probably because of the study gap as well. 38, yes. We've got this kind of case as well where the student is, what if my student has completed only uh, already 38 years old, but was not able to finish the bachelor course, has finished 2 years in the bachelor's program, but was not able to complete it. Eventually he worked, got promoted in the company, and then wanted to go back. Can I actually apply for a bachelor course, or should I actually go for a master's program? Because the agent actually sent an application for a bachelor program because it's not the student was not able to finish the bachelor's. Unfortunately, in this case, our admissions manager suggested not to proceed with the bachelor's application, hence going for a package of a graduate certificate and a master's program. So, say for example, graduate certificate in business administration, then packaging it with MBA digital transformation or an MBA in business analytics. So we could actually package that with this kind of case, because number one reason is like everything is actually good. The profile is pretty nice, but if you try to put them in the bachelor, because the age is actually the red flag there,
Mhm.
it might be a high risk. But if you go for the postgraduate, definitely we have the better advantage for the students who's actually at that kind of situation. So another thing is like I had this kind of case where the student is um, he completed the bachelor and then wanting to go for another bachelor with AIBI. So double the bachelor might be a little risky. So I'm pretty sure you're familiar as well. But of course, yes, education is an expert. Just giving you some sharing of situation, because the student did not only apply to a bachelor program, but the student is 26 years old, got a good working experience, became a supervisor as well. But then again, since they applied for a bachelor, and then he is also married, I was surprised
Will that
when
affect
this would
the
also
marriage status?
that's a good question, Greta, because like the our admissions team actually sent an email informing that we regret to inform that we cannot actually proceed with this application because the student is married. Not
Ah.
because of the bachelor, not because of the double the bachelor, but they emphasize the marriage. I think now what we see in the data with the DHA is that they're seeing like if the student is at that age, even though they're actually young, 26 years old, good profile, but because they're actually married, it becomes a red flag as well to DHA. So
Mm.
what we opted to go for is like our admissions team trying to help you out, assisting you with the circumstances and how we try to see it from the DHA's perspective. So what we did, we tried to suggest our partner to proceed with the postgraduate rather than with the bachelor course. So and then they ended up going for an MBA digital transformation. We provided the offer letter rather than the offer letter of the bachelor, but because 26 years old, I'm pretty sure that's pretty ideal. They still have a lot of time uh,
Mm.
to to study, and then eventually probably go for a master's right after that. But since it could be a red flag, a little bit risky, so we actually move on to the master's program. So something that we could also share, if I could share it anytime, I'll be happy to share it to Greta and the rest of the team. So this is something that is normally happening right now. I was talking with some of our partners here in Sydney. They've actually mentioned Latin Americans, Southeast Asian, even the South Asians, mentioning this year is one of the most difficult years, but we're actually in the same boat. We are actually thriving. The next year would be hopefully a better year for us, and that our support is actually stays with Yes Education. We could actually provide that as well. Um, yes. What else could I mention? Yeah, I think that's the situation that we have right now. I'm still thinking of some other things. Maybe you have other questions. Happy to share these ideas. Mhm.
Yeah. I have another question. What if the situation is in Indonesia we have like diploma program, but it's 3 years,
Mhm.
so it's below bachelor,
Mhm.
and then they already have like gap 5 or 6 year, and then like you say in a company
Mhm.
they want to give the student a promotion but needs to
Mhm.
have a higher education level, and then
Mhm.
they take the bachelor and asking for credit transfer. Is it still acceptable, or is there like
Yes. Mhm.
any for or
Mhm.
maybe it's if it's not for bachelor, then can they go directly for master program and count
Mhm.
the 5 years working experience?
Thank you for that. Yes, it's going to be a case to case basis, but from a general perspective, if they actually had the long gap, but they actually had the long experience as well, with this experience that they've actually gained good skill sets, I would go for, if this is what our admissions manager was actually mentioning, a pro tip coming from him. If you think normally what we do in the admissions, what they do in the admissions, there are two categories that they try to check. The first one is actually the transcript of records. If, say, for example, the total GPA is actually quite high, they try to proceed directly to the masters. The second one is actually work experience. If the work experience is pretty much relevant to business, I had this kind of student who's actually in the HR department. Some of the tasks that she had is actually business marketing related, so they could actually directly enter the master's program. But say for example they've actually got the diploma, was not able to go for a bachelor, then but the long experience is actually there, we could easily evaluate it, give you provide you quick assessments as well. But I would go for package of graduate certificate, which is actually 1 semester, and then master's program. So just to be safe for this one, so whatever master's program would be related to that student as well. So primarily, if they were not able to finish the bachelor's, we got this kind of student who's a Japanese, was able to complete a certificate course in Australia. but was not able to complete a bachelor. Eventually, came back to Japan, and now we try assessing the application. We provided a package course of graduate certificate and then MBA program alongside it. So it means like it's still gonna be a 2 year duration because we could easily credit transfer, of course, the 6 months or the graduate certificate program into the master's program. So I think that's pretty much relevant to the scenario of Greta. Mhm.
Okay, okay. Thank you for the explanation. I
Mhm.
think no one's asking, so the explanation must be very clear.
Right.
But in case later you have any
Mhm.
cases, any inquiry you want to ask, just contact Yes Education team. We can
Mhm.
send the inquiry to Intan or to the AIBI team. And then, as I mentioned earlier, if you have any student wants to do one-on-one and or if you want to do like online info session or offline info
Mhm.
session with Intan here, just contact us and we can help you to arrange it with Intan.
Mhm.
Yeah, happy
Yes.
to assist everyone. Right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, there's no question from our attendees. Then thank you, Aldrin, and
Thank
thank you,
you.
Intan. Thank you, Mas Farid,
Very much.
for
Yes.
the webinar
Have a great
today.
day, everyone.
And hopefully we can meet you in Tan soon.
Yeah,
Oh
hopefully.
yes. Yes. Of course. And of course, yep. Indonesia, one of the most amazing market. We love Indonesia. The market is actually quite the percentage when it comes to the visa grant is still higher compared to the other nationalities, which is quite surprising. I was actually seeing the data. Uh, one South Asian country, they actually receive for higher education offshore, their visa grant rate is actually 14% for offshore. Quite it blows me. That's actually that's really quite surprising. 14%. That was actually just last Monday when we checked in the DHA.
Mhm.
For higher education offshore for vet, it's actually 0%.
Mm.
Mm.
Quite
Not
surprising.
Indonesia, by the way.
Not Indonesia. It's not gonna happen to Indonesia. But of course, like I think what we see is like DHA is putting more restriction to uh, South Asian countries. But for Southeast Asia, I think they're actually pretty much uh, putting more focus on it. Mhm.
Yeah, I heard it was 95% the
Mhm.
update for higher education for the visa grant rate. So it's good. 'Cause
100%, yes.
hopefully we can get reinstated to the level one again.
Fingers crossed, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay then.
Really
Good.
appreciate it. Thank you again. Thank you,
Thank
team. Thank you,
you.
Greta.
Thanks a
Thank
lot
you,
Thank
for
Freddie.
Adrian and
you.
Thank you,
Intan.
everyone.
Bye.
And
Thank
also
you,
everyone who
everyone.
attend
Thank
today.
you.
Bye-bye
All right.
and see you on
Bye.
our next webinar.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Thank you.